From western painted turtles to Chinook salmon to migrating birds, Metro Vancouver is the steward of 1/4 of the region's land base, protecting 65,000 hectares of sensitive ecological areas. This 18-month-old western painted turtle is enjoying a swim in Aldergrove Regional Park. This is his very first time swimming in the wild. Up until today, he lived in a tank at the Greater Vancouver Zoo, where he was raised by members of the Coastal Painted Turtle Project. The project is dedicated to protecting western painted turtles. This endangered species is the only remaining freshwater turtle native to BC. Every spring, the group releases baby turtles into several of Metro Vancouver's regional parks. More than 400 turtles have been released to date.
8782?
Each has its own microchip.
Yep.
The beach at Aldergrove Regional Park was built specifically for turtles to help give them their best shot at reaching their 60-year life expectancy. Members of the Coastal Painted Turtle Project check up on the turtles daily in the springtime. On this evening, Amy Mitchell and Deanna McTavish find a female turtle on a main path.
She's been in the parking lot?
Yeah, she was in a parking lot. She really wants to try to nest in there.
She was born in the wild, so she doesn't have a microchip.
Here you go, Mama.
They know Turtle 134 very well. She is about 30 years old. Last year, she nested near the parking lot, and now she keeps going back there. Deanna and Amy encourage her to nest and lay eggs on the Turtle Beach. But Turtle 134 is not cooperating. She heads for the lake so that she can swim across it to the parking lot. A different turtle, number 179, laid eggs on the beach during the previous evening. Like other mother turtles, she will cover the eggs with dirt and return to the water. The baby turtles will hatch in approximately 72 days. On a river in Metro Vancouver's Capilano water supply area, staff are in the 13th season of a program to catch and release young coho and steelhead salmon known as smolts. This rotary screw trap has a rotating cone suspended between two floating pontoons that safely funnels migrating fish into a holding tank. The trap is pulled to shore and the fish are collected. At the Capilano Reservoir, a different trapping technique is in use. 6 trap nets are set up to catch the smolts. The timing of the smolts out-migration period is based on water temperature and daylight, leading to a short window to catch the fish. On average, 20 to 30,000 out-migrating coho are caught and released each year. Using a specialized vehicle, the coho and steelhead are transported below the dam and safely released near the ocean. The time the fish are released is dependent on how many fish are caught or the tides. These fish will head into the ocean and return to the Capilano hatchery in a few years as adult coho and steelhead salmon. Then they are brought above the dam by Department of Fisheries and Ocean staff. The fish that make it back to the Capilano water supply area to spawn will ensure the biodiversity of the region and the health of its water supply area. Metro Vancouver also works to protect animals that fly instead of swim in Dees Island Regional Park. Here, biologists are gearing up to capture and tag 2 species of small brown bats. As many as 3,000 bats live in the attic of a heritage house called Burvilla in the park. It's late morning and the bats are resting, which makes it easier for the biologists to capture them. 120 bats are carefully placed in their own cloth bag. These bags are then moved to another park building and hung on a clothesline. Hanging them up gives the bats space to be comfortable and prevents overheating. The 2 different bat species that live here are difficult to tell apart, so an app is used to collect each bat's sound signal. The 2 species living in this colony are the little brown bat and the Eumymiotis. They may look similar, but they have different call signatures. Over the next 12 hours, the bats will be measured and tagged by volunteer biologists. A small transponder is inserted into each bat to monitor their activity. Skin samples are taken to check for a deadly fungus known as white nose syndrome. White nose syndrome affects hibernating bats. It often looks like white fuzz on bats' faces, which is how it got its name. White nose syndrome can destroy entire bat colonies, so biologists are trying to find ways to protect them. In another area of the region, Metro Vancouver is working to enhance an entire ecosystem. Iona Island in Richmond is where land and sea meet one of the most vital salmon rivers in the world. It protects habitat for the largest number of bird species in BC, as well as an array of land animals, both big and small. It's also home to one of Metro Vancouver's regional parks, Iona Beach. And it's where Metro Vancouver proposes to launch one of its most ambitious ecological restoration projects as the Iona Island Wastewater Treatment Plant prepares to move to a higher level of treatment. The island is set within the Fraser River estuary. Estuaries are ecosystems where fresh water and salt water mingle and shift along with the changing of the tides. This creates the conditions for a diverse variety of species to thrive and grow. Aquatic creatures seek refuge here to adjust to saltwater life as they move into the ocean. Chinook salmon need that transition time the most. On land, the area's coastal sand dune ecosystem is equally unique. It's home to plants that support sand dune creatures. The area is very important for migrating birds, making this an ideal spot for birders. Hundreds of bird species have been found here, both migratory and resident. Iona Island Wastewater Treatment Plant was built mostly in the 1960s, and planning is underway to upgrade the plant over the next 20 years. Planning for this massive multi-year project is guided by the concepts of connect, protect, and restore. These concepts will help minimize the impacts to this diverse and unique ecological area. Metro Vancouver is responsible for protecting ecosystems in natural areas right across the region. Preserving these areas helps mitigate the effects of climate change, promotes biodiversity, and improves the livability of the region by connecting people to nature. And these ecosystems will continue to be protected for the health and enjoyment of us all.